Good morning, everybody. Welcome to some more Yeti's Parole Officer. We're going to be the parole officer for the Yeti. We're going to keep going. We were going to deal with the Mothman. I have moved my my face to this part of the middle part of the screen here. Because I sometimes forget to move it back for my Dishonored game, and there's no reason why my face has to be in the top right corner of this video, so I figured I would just move it so I wouldn't have to remember that later on. So that's why. And so now let's deal with this Mothman. So you rearrange your features into something resembling surprise. They really ought to include acting ability under the PGPB's required skills. Gee, Mothman, to your ears it sounds false, but the old couple nod solemnly. We read this. Again, it's 5 a.m. Sorry for the yawn. Scrunching down the decayed leaves, you surreptitiously check your communicator. Mothman's near, but holding his distance for now anyway. The old man spreads his arms wide, mimicking Mothman's wing. It was him, alright, a big freak or maybe an alien. Jump from that beach there. And a beach is a type of tree. Come on, Mothman. Inwardly, you seethe. Mothman is one of the more recent exiles to Earth, but even he ought to know better. These people can't stay here. He's a wily felon, convicted for plans to commit treason against the Pan-Galactic Alliance. The PGA, like the Pro Golfer Association or whatever, doesn't take such things lightly, and the PGPB seems to view Earth as no better than a primitive rock in the galactic sea. It's a little insulting when you think about it. But that's an outrage for another time. How can you get these people to leave? I get them all excited about the tabloids, which are really a PGPB front. Mothman is dangerous. I play that up for them. There's a storm coming in. I use that to scare them. What are my stats? Persuasion, stealth, justice, blah blah. I don't know. I think this would be the best way to do it. There's storm coming in. I use that to scare them. Oh wow, you say, pointing dramatically. Look at that weather. It's not totally a lie. Knotted black clouds advance over the horizon. The bare branches rattle like bones. What you wouldn't give for a blanket and a hot cup of tea. But duty calls. You shake your head. You ought to get home before the weather catches you. Hiking safety, right? Right you are, the man says. Let's go together. Well, it's not. It's all right. You say. I can manage myself. The older woman shakes her head. Honey, there's a monster in those woods and a bad storm coming in. What would your mother think if you stayed out alone? Your mother had smiling eyes, and you love flinging yourself against her petticoats. The memory leaves you with tears standing in your eyes. I'll be fine. The couple shrug and slowly leave, the man snapping pictures every few feet. Great, you'll have to have them flagged and monitored in case they return. But more, you're overwhelmed by the past. Standing alone in that clearing, it really, truly hits you. The PGP is all you have left. With the hikers gone, you can get down to business. You venture into the woods, wishing you had about 10 extra eyes to survey every direction at once. Some aliens are that lucky. Sometimes being human feels like a distinct disadvantage. Your communicator beeps, startling you half out of your skin. Mothman is near. You clear your throat. This is Agent Jim, liaising agent with the Pan-Galactic Prisons Bureau. I know you're here, Mothman. Show yourself. You're still not prepared when he steps from the bush. One plot hole, I think, in this book right now is that these aliens, that I refer to these aliens as what we call them on Earth, but surely they would have something else they refer to. If they're aliens, they wouldn't go by the name given to them on Earth. But that's just me. You're still not prepared when he steps from the bush. You don't remember Mothman being quite this tall. From a distance, he could almost pass as a human, but there's something off in his proportions. The arms are too long, bend too much. His face looks like he can't decide whether it was going for humanoid or insectoid. And that's not even mentioning the glowing red eyes and giant wings. When he speaks, it's a soft, raspy sound, like silk snagging on gravel. May I help you? Yes, actually. Honestly, you're getting a bit tired of the false politeness ploy. It grated on you in the paid parlors of your old life, and in the passage of time hasn't helped matters any. Quite a stunt you pulled with those hikers, Mothman. A few more incidents like that, and you can forget about parole. Mothman tilts his narrow head to one side, like a particularly frightening dog. Why? Seriously, because that's how this works. Stay low, stay out of trouble, and maybe you can get your sentence shortened. That's the deal. For a long time, Mothman doesn't say anything, then... I do not like this deal. How you like that voice from Mothman? Too bad, you tap at your communicator. I'll have to add this to the file. You know you're not supposed to approach humans, especially not humans on foot. While you draft an incident report, Mothman waits silently. Just before you hit send, you hesitate. Mothman has always been an odd one. He rarely gives a reason for anything he does, but he always has one. On the other hand, it'd be just like an exile to make you second guess yourself. Let's question him. I like to question him. Something isn't right. Let's question him. Say, Mothman, you inject a note of compassion into your voice. It isn't hard. In fact, you do genuinely feel for some of these aliens. Every one of them has a story, and they're all fascinating. What's wrong? Sure, you caused the fuss when you first arrived, but you've been quiet over the last few decades. This isn't like you. Mothman's red eyes hold yours. It is not. Is it not? He always has a habit of wrong-footing you. You wait, giving him another chance, but Mothman remains as tight-lipped as ever, until the moment you turn to leave. I have a deal. Every nerve tunes to high alert. Deal. Mothman dips his head. You require information. Alarm bells ring. About what specifically? He regards you haughtily. You require information. I collect information. You'll turn mole? You shouldn't laugh, but you can't help it. I will give you information. You will set me free. Play it cool, Jim. You're asking for a lot. Why should I trust you? If you could only read Mothman better, but his eyes are as featureless as stone. I fly, I hear the others. They talk. There are plans in motion, plans you cannot imagine. You can give me freedom. Helping you will help me. First, Tweel would never sanction this conversation, ever. Second, this is really starting to creep you out. Mothman takes a few steps closer, which doesn't help. Will you accept my deal? Counteroffer. Sure, I need an informant. No way he's a convict. I'll make a counteroffer. His info now, or I tell Tweel. Let's make a counteroffer. How about this? You say, give your information now, and I'll talk to Tweel. No. Hey, now I don't have complete authority over your case. I can't just promise things. Mothman glares at you. I am disappointed. And then he's gone, slipping through the woods. That was puzzling. You wonder what he meant by plans in motion. With the Mothman situation mostly under control, it's time to return your attention to the matter of the smuggling ring and their warp gates. The intelligence team has been busy while you've been traipsing through the woods. Of course, it would have been better if you could have provided them with more information, but they eventually pinpointed the warp gate's location. Loch Ness. We're going to Scotland. It's been a while since you were last in Scotland. A light dusting of snow streaks the hills around Loch Ness. The loch itself looks like a polished stone, reflecting the grey sky above. It wasn't all that long ago that you'd use any trips to the Highlands as an excuse to travel through the UK, visiting some of your old haunts. You stopped doing that, though. It's depressing to see how much has changed. Now, if you were an illegal off-grid warp gate being used to smuggle contraband through Sphere onto distant corners of the galaxy, where would you be? As you stand on the frosty shore, scrutinizing the hill's contours for any irregularities, scraps of paper gust along the ground. You pick one up. Nessie hunting tours, monster watching, find the beast, Leviathan of the Loch. Fantastic. Nessie holds one of the longest sentences of the exiles on Earth. She's been here since 565 CE, along with her partner in crime, the Cadborosaurus. But unlike him, she hasn't exactly kept a low profile. Even in her grifting days, she liked the spotlight. It's alright, though. Getting people to debate the possible existence of a monster is a lot safer for the PGPB than letting them think about aliens. Ooh, tasty coffee. Time for some preliminary investigations. Maybe you should get out on the water and arrange a meeting with Nessie now. Then again, those goods are coming overland at some point. It may be better to explore the surrounding area first. What do you think? Firm resolve. What do I got? I got some good resolve. Row out to the lock or hit the tourist traps. I'll take some patience, but I can handle it with firm resolve. I bite paths around the lot. Rough terrain doesn't scare me. I'm tough. Let's hit the tourist traps. Back in 565 CE, Loch Ness was probably a little more than forest and rolling countryside. Isolated, rugged, the perfect place to stash a misbehaving grifter. At least it was perfect until the 1930s, when Nessie realized that she liked the notoriety brought by radio and photography. Over the years, tourist shops have sprung up. Nessie figurines and stuffed animals fill the windows. Tartan umbrellas and Loch Ness napkin rings spill onto the streets. Tartan umbrellas? You seize one of the umbrellas. It's got a thick red handle and a distinctive pattern. It's identical to some umbrellas you spotted on Spheron. Poking around the shop, you find some more familiar goods. Salt cellars, a plaid hot bottle, some stationery sets, and stashed away in the corner, some glow-in-the-dark watches. Seriously? Seriously? You swallow your anger. Something's fishy here, and it isn't just the lock. You leave the shops and head back to the shore. You pull an LDC, a long-distance communicator, from your pack. The actual unit is a flat silver disc about the size of your palm. You sync it with your main communicator, adjust its auto-return settings, and chuck it into the lock. Ripples spread across the lock's surface as it vanishes from view. After a few minutes, you speak into your communicator. Here, Nessie, Nessie, Nessie. Come on, Nessie, I feel unloved. Nessie, I've got neeps and tatties for you. I don't even know what that is. This is Liaising Agent Jim. Respond immediately. Hey, Nessie, Nessie. I don't know, I feel like we've talked to everybody this way before, so come on, Nessie, I feel unloved. The communicator beams your voice down through the waters where it's picked up and broadcast through the LDC. From there, the sound waves roll through the water. Just as you're getting annoyed, Nessie's sultry voice comes through the communicator. Jim, darling, is that you? Easy there. Yes, Nessie, we need to talk. Oh, darling, must we? I've been quite well behaved, you know, and if I came up now, why, the humans would see. I've chosen not to give Nessie a Scottish accent for a myriad reasons, one of them being that it's difficult to do. It doesn't usually bother you, Nessie. You shake your head, even though she probably can't see you. The usual inlet, the usual time. 2 in the morning. Why, dear Jim, you'll be ever so tired. I'll live. And maybe you can finally catch a break. After all of this, you are starving. You head straight to the nearest fish and chips place. It's a tiny canteen saturated with the delicious, delicious smell of oil. Accepting the newspaper-wrapped bundle is a beautiful moment that almost brings tears to your eyes. You stand at a counter by the window, wolfing it down. There's a tap on your shoulder. Excuse me, do the Perseids peak tonight? You stiffen. The Perseid meteor shower isn't until August. It's a code the PGP uses when agents meet in the field. Swallowing hastily, you give the correct answer. Sometime around midnight. There's no gasp, no sign of surprise. Someone slides onto the stool next to you. Fairly tall, coppery hair, bright blue eyes. You should have known. There aren't many human PGP liaising agents, and there's only one person this could be. Agent Silver. Lucy Silver. Our love interest, most likely. Lucy shoots you a smirk. Well, well, Agent Jim. Fancy meeting you here. You shrug in a non-committal manner and add more malt vinegar to your fish and chips. What do you want, Lucy? Lucy could not look more innocent if she tried. Tweel sent me to work with you. Work with me or work instead of me. You battle a rising tide of unease. This is my investigation. What is Tweel playing at? Lucy twirls a plastic straw between her fingertips. Thought you needed some assistance, I suppose. Come now, Jim. You should trust Tweel. This is an unexpected development. What do you think about it? That ambitious Lucy is trying to horn in on my case. I'm miffed. Tweel thinks I'm incompetent. An extra pair of hands. Awesome. Lucy can do all the legwork. In the last game, we didn't seek any romantic relationships, so maybe we'll pursue this. Actually, I don't mind. I've wanted to get to know Lucy better route. Well, it has been a rough go, you say, shaking your hand. I'm looking forward to working with you. Your counterpart nods. Good. Hopefully this won't take too long. What are your plans now? I'm interviewing Nessie tonight. You toy with a chip. Lucy isn't quite as frosty as you remember her in the past. Will you come? Also, a chip referred to in fish and chips means fries. I don't know if you know that. Maybe you live in America and you don't know. But I've been to Scotland, so I know. I know what they call things in the UK. I'm just kidding. That is what they are. In case you didn't know. I didn't know. Of course. Will you come? I asked her. Of course. I'll make the report to Tweel after. She needs to know what a good job you're doing, Jim. Lucy keeps a straight face. You're pretty sure that she is being sincere, but you still get the same sense that she is privately amused by something. That tilt of her head and the knowingness of her smile has always reminded you of someone. Then it hits you. Lady Serena. Now you're the one privately amused. Come on, you tell Lucy. We need to find Nessie. By the time you arrive at the inlet, the clouds have mostly cleared away. Moonlight sparkles off the loch like shattered glass. Ooh, romantic. You shiver in the chill wind. You while away the remaining minutes making small talk with Lucy. Sure, it's a little strained, but you have to admit it's kind of nice to have someone who knows what you're going through. Maybe the PGPB should run support groups, at least for its human agents. Conversation with Lucy is almost an art form in itself. You can hardly keep up with her. Yes, Lady Serena would have liked her. Suddenly a wave disrupts the placid loch. Lucy scrambles from her perch on a rock near the shore. The convict's coming. It's Nessie, you remind her. Lucy looks at you as though you've gone insane and zips her jacket higher. Convicts are convicts are convicts. You'd like to ask what Lucy would think if someone insisted on stripping her name and identity, but then Nessie heaves herself onto the shore. She certainly is a sight to behold. Approximately 4 meters from tip to tail, some stories do get a little exaggerated, with 4 paddle-like flippers, a smooth, blunt-nosed head, and a long neck. All in all, a fine specimen of a plesian. Beside you, Lucy rolls her eyes and flashes her badge. Agents Silver and Jim, here to question you. Nessie waves a large flipper. Oh, darling, I know who you are, young Jim. Oh, don't give me that look, gorgeous. You are young, at least compared to me. Anyway, young Jim told me the PGPB would be paying a little social call. Silence from Lucy. Wow. You never thought you'd see the day, but Lucy is speechless. Probably best for you to step in. Do you know why we're here, Nessie? Nessie dips her head. Even in the darkness, it's just a bit of a typo. You can tell she's practically doe-eyed. Why, no, my dear Jim, I can't say that I do. Oh, she's lying, or is she? There must be an illicit warp gate in the area, possibly even aliens hiding out. How will you find them? Lucy has a ship. It goes underwater. I search the loch. Lucy and I pull the good cop, bad cop routine's a classic for a reason. Nessie's notoriously vain. I manipulate her with my brilliant people skills. Nessie loves fish and chips. I've been doing a good job with that so far. So let's do that. Let's do notoriously vain. I guess I can't do Lucy has a better skater. You know, Nessie, you say slowly, you're looking lovely tonight. Nessie bows her head. She may play at being a grand dame, but muscles ripple all along the length of her neck. I do declare, Jim, you're making me blush. You can't blush, Lucy cuts in. Different capillaries. At that, Nessie shoots her a frosty look. It was, she says, It was, she says, voice dripping with content, a figure of speech. Oh, great. Well, despite your best efforts, it seems that Lucy has scuppered your plans to flatter Nessie. Time for a new approach. Let's give her some fish and chips, maybe. Nessie laughs at your offer. My darling, how dear of you, but why ever would you suggest such a thing? You smile. She settled into her exile well. You actually have quite a bit of affection for her. It gets cold out here. Besides, it's nice to have cooked fish every so often, right? Aren't you sweet? Nessie nods towards Lucy. Well, don't you agree? Absolutely. Lucy spits through clenched teeth. I am brilliant. The attendant manning the late-night fish and chips shop raises his eyebrows as you enter, mostly because Lucy is on your heels, hissing like a goose in your ear. Have you completely lost your mind, Jim? We're on duty and you get the convict chips. An extra order of fish, you tell the attendant. And an extra order of fish. Outside, Lucy crosses her arms, seething. I don't know why you've lasted this long in the PGPB. Because I am brilliant. When you bring the food, Nessie wolfs it down, her needle-like teeth flashing in the moonlight. After she swallows the last morsel, you say, So, about those warp gates. Nessie touches her mouth with one flipper. What warp gates, darling? Our intelligence says, Dreadfully sorry, young Jim. I haven't the foggiest. She sniffs your hands, nostrils flaring. I do appreciate the fish, though. If Lucy's looks could kill, you'd be a scorched patch of earth. Trudging along the shore back to town, Lucy won't keep quiet. We can't find the illegal warp gate, and doubtless Nessie's sheltering more convicts. If we could just pin her down. We'll figure it out. Lucy whirls on you. I have never failed the PGPB, and I do not intend to start now. This is a disgrace. I wonder what the ship thing would have been. Both your communicators buzz. The message is simple. Chupacabra attack. Get to Texas now. Lucy stuffs her communicator inside her coat. Get in. Maybe we can redeem ourselves. Strapped into the transport, you leave the dark loch far below. Yes, things are happening. Vague movements in the shadows now coming to light. As Lucy talks to Tweel and punches coordinates for Texas, you shudder. The day started so well, too. Alright, that's good. We're going to head to the next chapter. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying this Yeti's Parole Officer. I've got another kind of Western thing coming up after this one, I guess. But if you have another choice of games that you'd like me to play, or choice of game you'd like me to play, let me know. I want to try to do maybe a newer one. I thought this was new, but apparently not. And I thought the other one that I downloaded was new, also apparently not. So I will listen to your suggestions. I will see you in the next video. I hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe. Love you very much. Bye-bye.